Alright, I think this is a funny story and worth sharing. This series is called Rumour Mill. Bad board game businesses to bang their booties with banishing your bucks from their boxes. Sponsored by the Better Business Bureau. So somebody made a post in Discord the other day pointing me to this lovely story about Mayday Games. This is a PSA to PS away from Mayday Games, who were using an image of Tracey Boards' Crokinole board on their website. And they just, when they were told about it, they're like, hey, that's not your image. Those aren't the boards that you're producing. They're selling these boards. They have their elite Crokinole boards. This was the image provided by the Wayback Machine. Now it is this image where they're actually showing off their own boards. But because I think they wanted to show a little black border, or maybe show just what is clearly a better board, they put this on the website. And then when they were told that is clearly a picture of Tracey Boards, because they literally had the Tracey Boards logo at the bottom of it, which is the dumbest thing. It's like, hey, these are our boards. No, they're not. Said, here's the picture of the board on the original website. Somebody took a screenshot. Clearly, you can see that on Board Game Geek. When they were told about it, they just edited it out and put it and put a picture of it, as you can see, in the Wayback Machine, and they just put that on their on their website, which is just so ludicrous to me. And then I went deeper into Mayday Games and the apparent shadiness that this company has produced, and it kind of makes me dislike them even more than I dislike other companies. So I figured I'd make a video about them, you know? Because if you're a dick and you come from a good Canadian company, this good Canadian boy is going to have something to say about that. Hey, that looks like a Mayday board, doesn't it? No, these are actually handcrafted. I will tell you this. I don't care about the quality of a Crokinole board. My parents have a Crokinole board that I don't know where they got it from. They got it as a gift. And it works, and I've played on that a bunch. And then I played on a Tracey board, which I've always thought are like extremely expensive, but it's handcrafted, like handcrafted wood. My uncle was a woodworker. I know the work that it takes to go into this sort of thing. And so I understand the cost is not something that I would ever really invest in. But when I played on it at the Level Up Gaming Retreat, I was dropping all sorts of shout outs here. You should go to Level Up Gaming Retreat. I'm going to be there this year. That's neither here nor there, but it'll be fun. But when I played on one of their boards there, it was like hitting a disc on butter. It was so smooth. And I was like, okay, you know what? You earn your high price for it. These people, they earn their high price points. Handcrafted, made in Canada. People who love Crokinole love it a lot. And to see a company just want to take that for their own because their own crappy elite boards can never measure up to it, I think that's pretty dumb. And somebody on this Reddit thread was like, well, hey, maybe they just put it up there as a template. It's like a mock-up of like, hey, this is what the picture should look like. And it's like, yeah, if they did that, then you shouldn't Photoshop out the logo and hope that the same people who brought it to your attention aren't going to bring it to other people's attention. Like, that is the silliest thing, at least according to this Reddit post. Allegedly. Remember, this is the Rumour Mill. Everything here is alleged. But what I thought was also very funny, and this is what made me want to make a full video on it, is that like way back in 2011, I think, according to this BGG thread, this is when it's being replied to. This is another thread called Mayday Games: A Cautionary Tale, which was then made as private so that nobody could see it. And then the CEO wrote their own blog post called A Cautionary Tale Mayday Games. So in case people were searching Mayday Games: A Cautionary Tale, that would come up. And it wouldn't come up all of the different cautionary tales that, again, thanks to our good friends at the Wayback Machine, the internet archives. The internet doesn't forget as long as we timestamp this. Remember that, Launch Boom, where a bunch of people aired their grievances. Don't forget the shoddy Crokinole boards they pushed that range from a particle board with a fake wood grain sticker over it to surface abrasion caused by screws popping up from the bottom to offering a premium board at an increased price point without significantly increasing the quality of the board. Anyway, there's a whole list of things which I don't know their validity or not, but you know, I think when people complain, they generally have a good reason to. Not generally, not generally. Sometimes people just like complaining. Let's be real. But what I did think was very funny is that this other list came up where this article came up of a great review of somebody who purchased a game who made a review about it, said this Crokinole board was horrible. And they said, okay, we'll have you send it along to somebody else. They're getting a damaged board, so we can send you a nice fresh board, and you can send them the damaged board. And then this person sent the damaged board to someone else, and then got a board from from someone else, and it was another damaged board. So basically, they were having all of the people who complained just send their boards to each other. Now, Mayday Games then responded in this Board Game Geek thread that I found, saying, yes, we had Dave ship it to Pete, and Pete did ship it to Jackie, but Pete was supposed to ship it to Scott, and Dave wasn't supposed to ship it to Pete, and sent them all along. Now, Mayday Games is claiming that it was a weird whiteboard error, that they were drawing lines between different people and trying to send some to people who had charity, and like talk about their own quality and the previous history of their quality, which I love that the response is, hey, I love when their previous production was they didn't even know where to put the pegs in the right places for the Crokinole board. Maybe that's why they had to refer to someone who actually makes good Crokinole boards. But I just think this whole story is also very, very funny, because Pete emails Dave and says, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. Do you work for Mayday Games? He's like, nah. I bought this, it was shipped from Mayday, and I complained to Mayday. He sent me a shipping label forward to somebody who had purchased a slightly damaged board, which is like the same the story that he got. And Mayday's response doesn't seem to go in line with this as a response of the CEO saying, oh yeah, they know they're getting a damaged defective one, and then them saying, I thought I was getting a brand new board. It seemed like it all worked out down the line back in 2011. But I also just think it's wild that there have been 2 Crokinole scandals with Mayday Games, and probably more talking about their quality. And this is very funny to me, especially because apparently they're going to have another Kickstarter for a Mayday board in 2025. So there you go. That's what I've found out about this. I figured I'd share it to you all as the audience, mainly because I like to be on the lookout for companies that have a history of shady dealings, and now Mayday Games kind of firmly falls into that category for me. You know, when there's a huge list of people airing their grievances, that's always going to happen with a major company. It really will be. Like, you look at CMON, for example, and hey, I really like CMON's games. I've also been burned by CMON with their Time Machine, and I was very upset for a while, and I sometimes haven't liked their games, and I'm still waiting on Trudvang. You know, like, there's always going to be good and bad in terms of who you want to support and who you don't want to support. But if you are in the market for a Crokinole board, I just want to put this up here to say, get it from literally anyone else. For me, and for a lot of people, getting a board that's like $50 is more than fine. Getting a cheap plastic one, who cares? If you want to go and invest in an expensive one, you can get a Tracey Boards, because they are known to be good, known by me and by other people. Like, I've tried it physically, and they smooth like butter. To me, the game and the gameplay isn't worth that much, but I understand it having it as an heirloom piece. I don't really know what the point of this video is. I think the point of this video is I found this to be shocking and also funny. Just the sheer audacity that you'd have to have as a company to do this sorts of thing is mind-blowing to me. And I don't mind making a video about it and hearing what you, the community, have to say if you've had any experiences with Mayday Games or whatever, because maybe it'll force the CEO of Mayday Games to make, I don't even know if it's the same guy. Let's see. Seems like it is. That seems to be his name running around there. Mayday Games, Sleep Kings, Imperial Publishing. Anyway, maybe it'll have him make a video to try to hide this video called Mayday Games, Big Booty Banishing. Because that seems to be the trend if history is to be believed. I don't know, I just thought it was a nice little bit of gossip to share around our proverbial water cooler, and I want to know more. So let me know if you've ever had dealings with the company, if you like them, if you don't, if this is all unfounded. That's what this video is about. I spent too long looking into it to justify not doing a video about it because then I would have wasted so much time. That's really why this video is being produced, is because I was like, I have to look into this more. And then the more I looked into it, the more rabbit holes I went down. I'll just share every single one of my links down in the comments, and you all can peruse them at your leisure. But anyway, I thought it was a wild story, starting with that main Reddit post. And I needed to talk about it, and I needed to share it, mainly because I needed to justify the time that I spent on it. Anyway, let me know what you all think. I'm Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but I do have a big hot cup of steaming tea, and I want a refill, please. These sort of videos aren't necessarily going to be the main point of the channel moving forward, but sometimes they pop up. I don't want to be like other channels who are just trying to stir up controversy where there isn't controversy, but I also think if a company is being shady and I hear about it, I'm kind of inclined to like let you all know, because even just looking into this has made me really not want to be involved or be interested in anything or supporting anything from Mayday Games, because of this sort of pattern of missteps that have happened in the past and now. And you can let me know too if you think that is a good stance to take, a bad stance to take. I don't know, share your thoughts. I'm curious. I only talk to myself in a room with a door that doesn't open unless I get enough views. So let me out of here and let me know what you have to say.